Hi, everybody. How is everyone? Welcome. Hope you can hear now. Can we hear now? Let's see. Can we still not hear anything? Or do I have audio? Oh, great. Audio is here. All right. Oh my gosh. Are we ready to open the orange door to get into the origin story? Your origin story. Let's do it. Okay. Wonderful. Everybody hears me. Then we're good to go. All right. Well, I'd love to have the orange door up as we're doing the intro to that. So let's get started. Yay! Oh my gosh. Thank you all for being here. So today we're getting into the orange door. Last week, we unlocked the red door, the foundation. Hopefully you had a chance to dig into your own foundation. I had told you you could get into the, if we're going to talk about the red door, let's be on the red door. If you were going to get into your foundation, you could look at your unconscious Saturn, you could look at your unconscious Earth, and you could look at your unconscious Earth, Saturn, oh, Mars, the core sphere. So hopefully you had a chance to do that. Maybe you had a chance to listen to the well meditation to get you into the 48 vibes, the 48 energy, and maybe you uncovered some stuff about your foundation. Today we're going to get into the orange door, and behind the orange door we have the womb, the origin story. So that red door was the seed, the spark of potential. And this door, the spark, becomes form. And it's the realm of creativity, of sexuality, of life force, of everything that gives life movement and rhythm. So creation isn't something you do, it's something you are innately. It's something that you are gifted with. And particularly women, we are here to create life, to birth life. Men have this ability as well. Women are built physically to do it. And here in our sacral, in our sacral center, our sacral chakra, we are learning to create consciously. And this is the whole purpose of this series that we have, is to become conscious creators, creators from alignment, not from reaction, from alignment, from intention. This is the energy of life force of who we are. It's this dance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us as well. We're creating a divine union, and the world that we're creating outside of us is a result of that inner union or not, that inner harmony or not. And so also when I say creativity, I don't just mean painting or writing. I mean the way you move through life, the way you respond, the way you make love to existence itself. So what we're going to be doing here is really tuning into that origin story, and also to what you're wanting to create here on Earth. So what is your heaven on Earth? What is your Shambhala? And before we get into that, so we'll just unlock that orange door together. So just tune into your own sacral. Should be below your navel. Put your hands on it. Bring your awareness down into this place within your body. You can tune into your sacral chakra. You can tune into your sacral center, like in your human design chart. you can tune into your sexual organs. Here we're just bringing our awareness to that orange center in our being, that source of creativity and life force. I want you to feel into its color, its texture, its vibrancy. Does it feel full? Does it feel empty with potential and possibilities? Does it feel chaotic? Just take note of this space within you, this space of creation. And we're going to be coming back to this space over and over again today and during this week as you are digging into the center, excavating some of the gold that lives here. Everybody has an origin story. Everybody came from somewhere. And what we're unlocking, what we're doing within this center is we are uncovering the source of our creations. A lot of us are trying to manifest certain things in this world. Be it relationship, be it businesses, be it abundance, be it a home, be it something you currently don't have. And so we're trying to make it happen or become a match for that. And today we're going to tune into what it takes to manifest that. We're going to tune into how to become a match for that reality that you're trying to step towards, that you're trying to create. And once you get that, oftentimes we wonder, how did I get here? How can I replicate this? Everything has an origin story. Superheroes have an origin story. There's always an origin story. There is a story that comes with who you are today. There's your past, there's your present, and then there's your future, right? And that makes up your whole story. But how you came to be who you are today, it has a story. And the you that you are now has a set of beliefs, has a set of values, has a set of ideas about who it thinks that you are, right? Your identity is built on programming. Today, we're going to talk about that program, but we're also going to talk about how to become a match for the future you that you're moving towards. And maybe you've been moving towards that future you for a while. And you're like, why is it taking so long? We have to become a match for that reality we're trying to birth, for what we're trying to create in the world. So I'm going to say this a couple times during our session, but you want to become a match for that future you, for that potential, that possibility you're trying to birth here. You want to hold the pose, keep staying a match for that and stay the course. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit later, but we're becoming a match, we're holding the pose, and we're staying the course. Life will try to reorient us, and sometimes it's okay to go on these side quests, but sometimes our subconscious is sabotaging us from staying a match, or we can't hold the frequency of that future. We're trying to build more muscles to increase our bandwidth to hold what it is we're trying to bring into our life. Just like going to the gym or working out. All right, so orange door, sacral, creation, your origin story. Let's tune into that again for a bit. So let me pull up my notes so I can stay on track. So I want us to get clear on the heaven that we're creating. I remember I talked about Shambhala. Do you remember talking about Shambhala last week? Heaven. This is what we're going to refer to as the reality that we're creating. We're trying to create heaven on earth. So let's get really honest about what we want to create. What is your version of heaven on earth? What does Shambhala look like for you? So you're going to take a moment. If you have something to write on, lovely. If not, just trust whatever you're receiving and you're going to remember it. So I just want us to go within for a moment, back to the sacral. It's possible for you. You got that idea because it's aligned with you. It's just, can we become a match to bring that down into earth? Can we birth that reality for us? So you can close your eyes, tuning in to your sacral. We're going to ask ourselves, what does Shambhala look like for me? What does heaven on earth look like for me? What is living the dream look like for me? So take a moment to visualize that and to name it and claim it. It doesn't need to be elaborate. If there's one thing that you're like, I really want this. I'm really trying to align with this or manifest this. Claim it, say it. If you want to put it in the chat, you can put it in the chat too. I would love to know. Some of us already know. We're like, yep, I'm on it. I know exactly what I want to manifest. And some of us don't really know how to dream. Maybe our parents didn't dream. They were like, this is my role. This is what I'm doing. And so dreaming wasn't allowed. Oh, no, you can't have that. We're going to talk about that too, these little saboteurs. So in order for us to become a match for that which we're creating, which we're wanting, we have to be discerning about what we're letting in our lives, how we're thinking, how we're feeling about things, the way that we're perceiving reality. So heaven isn't somewhere else. It's a frequency. It's a frequency that you embody. It's a frequency that you broadcast. So having heaven outside of you, having the things you're wanting outside of you, really depends on if you can feel it within you, but also convince yourself that it is. It just is. It's on my path. It's happening. It has happened. And your outer reality can only match your inner picture. And that's like an inner picture that you've embodied. If your inner world is confused or conflicted, the universe is going to mirror that. It's just letting you know instantly, what are you manifesting? We are amazing creators. Amazing. We created this world around you. Just look around you, like, you created this. This is and co-created. You created and co-created this. And having gratitude, even if it's uncomfortable, like, wow, I created this. I chose this. And if you're not satisfied with what you're created, there's an opportunity to improve. There's an opportunity to correct. There's an opportunity in every moment to tune in and to align with what it is you're wanting to create. You might be saying too, Ashley, I'm very clear on what I want. And I put effort towards creating that, but it's just not here yet. Why is it not here yet? I'm glad you asked that. We have hidden co-creators, aka our subconscious. So that's the catch. Your subconscious is also a co-creator. It's creating from what it believes is safe, is normal, is familiar, is conditioned, is programmed. And your subconscious doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about your survival. So you may think that you're the CEO, boss lady, boss man of your business, of your life, and that is true. However, your subconscious is running 95% of the show. So if your subconscious isn't on board with what you're trying to create, it's going to wreak havoc in your life. It's going to bring up the shadow patterns. It's going to do the things it can to get in the way, because we create upper limits for ourselves to keep ourselves safe. Remember, it cares about your survival. Change is scary. If expansion feels unsafe, it'll sabotage you to keep you in that familiar discomfort. So if you've heard of that book, The Big Leap, by Gay Hendricks, he speaks about upper limits. We all have an internal thermostat. How much we love, how much success we can have, how much joy, how much abundance that we can receive without this alarm system going off. And so on a day-to-day basis, how much joy can you experience? How much love can you receive? Not only do we have these upper limits that we can, of course, break through, just like you can get stronger, you can increase your capacity to hold, you can increase your bandwidth. Not only do we have these upper limits, we also have within our subconscious programming things we are broadcasting to the world. They're our beliefs, they're what we're manifesting. And if you keep attracting the same things in your life, it's because you have a magnetic draw or a magnetic field that's bringing things to you. Because it's just curriculum. It's like a training ground to become conscious creators. We are conscious creators here. Well, some of us unconscious creators. But life is giving us the data and the reflections we need to course correct, to refine. We're all learning how to be little gods here on earth. What do you want to create? And so we're putting out these signals with our subconscious, and people, situations, circumstances, conversations, they come to us to give us the reflection of what's on the inside. Now, it may be directly related to what's on the inside, or it could be the opposite of what's related on the inside. We have to discern. And an example of that is you're trying to manifest a relationship, and maybe guys have either cheated on you or have been unreliable, or you've always been the one that does all the work in the relationship. And let's just say that you've always been the one that does all the work, and you're the one bringing home the bacon, you're the one who's scheduling the things, you're the one who's doing the stuff. And it just seems like every person you get into a relationship with, they take on that personality. It's like you're always the one that has to be in charge, and you just, oh, I wish I could just surrender and let go, and I wish he could hold me, and I wish he could be the leader, and I wish he could just be that masculine for me. But you keep attracting the other thing. And sometime in life, potentially this is the story, you decided that men weren't safe, that I need to do it on my own. Maybe it was your family, your dad wasn't safe, your mom wasn't safe, so you became hyper independent, you became hyper vigilant to those around you, and so you pushed everyone outside, and you're like, I can only control this. Like, I need to be in control, because to be out of control is scary. So the relationships that you attract, you're always going to need to be in control, because you can't surrender, because you can't receive, because it was not safe to receive in the past. Even if new data is coming in, giving you opportunities, you don't want the past to repeat itself. So you're like, no, 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 no. I got to be in control. I can't surrender. And so anytime we are pulling in a new relationship, that new relationship is has to go according to your coding. It has to follow the same programming. And so it's like match. They have to be matches, right? And so if we want to move out of that, we need to learn how to surrender, how to trust, how to accept things coming to us in life, how to not have to be the CEO all day long, not have to be in charge all day long. How can you take these little incremental steps to receive, to rest, to relax, to love on yourself, to be that feminine? If you want to be in the feminine, relaxed, receptive mode, you've got to keep practicing that. You can do your job, do your thing, be the boss lady over here, but as soon as you get home, you have to create a container for yourself to let go, to relax, so that you can become a match for that relationship, for that partnership that you're wanting to call in. You've got to ask yourself, how do I need to be able to fit in that reality? Because currently you're realizing I don't fit in that reality. Even though I want it, I'm not in resonance. I'm not in harmonics with that. Do you guys recognize that in your life? Have you seen, the struggle is real. Have you seen, like, I really want to manifest this, but it's just outside of your reach. You're like, why? Why can't I get it? That's why we go into our subconscious. Do you recognize that? Is there anything that you can see inside of your life that really matches that? Upper limits, want to be able to know, to have a successful business in service of my tribe. Yeah. And we have to ask ourselves, like, whatever we're trying to manifest, success, abundance, successful business, what does that look like? What is our definition of success? Great, some of you are getting it. All right. So I told you that our subconscious is the hidden co-creator. So we have programming. And we create this programming off of experiences. So it's from experiential learning and from conditioning from our parents. But we can recode anything. It's epigenetics, baby. Like we can recode everything. So also on the science side of things, you have a reticular formation. It's in your brain and it acts like a filter. So it decides what to pay attention to and what data supports your current beliefs. So all this stuff is related to consciously creating our reality, right? We need to know what is our heaven? What are we trying to manifest? And what is the world reflecting back to us consistently? That's giving us the data for what our subconscious programming is. You can also go into your gene keys and your human design chart and you can look at that to see, all right, what things could get in the way of this. But we don't just want to focus on the stuff that gets in the way. Are you guys really good at being correctors, shadow workers? Are you really good at noticing what's wrong and what's off? Like, raise your hand. Like, who's good at that? Once you got gene keys and human design chart, did you look at it and be like, oh my gosh, as soon as you saw those shadow gift and city frequencies, you're like, oh my God, shadow? Oh my God, that's the thing. Let me go find the shadows. Were you really great at finding the shadows in you? Yes? In the chat? Were you really great at that? Your reticular formation is a filter. It decides what to pay attention to. And if your agenda is healing, is fixing these shadows, is exterminating the shadows, that is all you're gonna see. And you know what happens is it creates this field of dissatisfaction. You're like, oh, that's off, that's off, that's off, that's off, that's off. And what is that doing for you creating your heaven on earth? It's gonna put you so far away from that frequency. Some of you healers are amazing healers, yet you're stuck in the healing rabbit hole because there's always something else to heal. There's always something else to do. And then you can't be a successful healer that's making money, that's doing what they love because you're stuck in the healing loop. Because all you're seeing is the things that need to be healed. And also, even staying in that realm, the only way that you still have a role is if there still needs to be healing. So it's almost like that Munchausen syndrome, or that where the child always needs to be sick for the mom to feel like she is serving, that her identity is being fulfilled. Remember I said in the beginning, we got to look at our identity. The only way that we can keep this identity, and ego loves identity. The only way we can keep this identity is if we still have things to heal. And then we're all looking for the things that we need to heal. And while that is amazing, beneficial, we need to do that, it shouldn't be the sole focus of it. So we need to give our reticular formation a job, consistently redirecting that mind and saying, all right, we're looking for that portal, that possibility to get us towards closer to that heaven, right? I want you to imagine and visualize this thing that you're trying to manifest. Come into your sacral, tune back into that. And this is what you're creating. And I want you to imagine that little seed, that little vision, that little thing that you're wanting. Imagine it as a seed. And that seed begins to turn into this ball of orange glowing energy. It's starting to have weight to it. It's almost like you're creating a little embryo in your womb. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing, it's evolving, cells are replicating, it's like it's getting bigger, it's feeling heavier. Can you feel the weight of it? Can you feel that dream getting heavier? Yes? What does it feel like in your hands too? I want you to imagine, and this is okay. Let's get some clear sentience going, everybody. Like, we're all freaking intuitive. We have those spidey senses. We are clairaudient, we're clairvoyant, we are clairsentient, we are claircognizant, we are clair. We have all of them. It's just about developing the muscle. I want you to develop the muscle now. Take your hands. Look at me for a second if your eyes are closed. Take your hands, and I want you to make a big clap. Make a clap. Clap. Make a clap. You probably can't hear me clapping because it's loud and Zoom makes it go away. But clap. And can you feel the tingle on your hands? Yes? Okay. Clap it till it tingles. Make it clap till it tingles. That's interesting. Okay. Now what I want you to do, yep, that's it. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine that orb, that sacral orange orb. I want you to imagine it in your hands. Like you're going like this, it's because you're touching it. Can you feel the boundaries of it as you're smushing it? Can you feel that energy? Does it feel like, you know, when your leg falls asleep and it's like tingly? Like you can kind of feel the fuzziness. Can you feel the fuzziness of the orange ball? Yes. And you're visualizing that orange ball. I want you to stretch it. Can you make it bigger? Make it smaller. As it gets bigger, you can see how much squishier it is. As it gets smaller, you can see how much more compact and hard it is, right? Make it bigger. It floats in front of you. It's big, right? Okay, so I want you to put it in front of your third eye. And I want you to imagine, like, this thing in front of you is your Shambhala, is your dream life, is the thing that you're manifesting. You're like, yeah, baby. I want you to come into this physical realm. I'm ready for you. I want you to connect your third eye to this ball of light. Like you're creating a cord. This is your vision, right? The reason we're doing this is because I want you to be so connected and focused on this vision that you're creating. It's so easy to tell that a baby's growing inside of you because you get physically big and you start feeling things move. That's not the case with non-physical things. If you don't have the relationship yet, you don't have somebody to touch, to hold, to caress, they're not there yet. But with this in front of you, you have your third eye, your vision, connected to what you're creating. We've just connected our third eye to our creation. Now, I want you to release it. No, I don't want to release it. I want you to release it in front of you. You're going to see this ball of energy. It's going to be hovering in front of you. The distance in which it's hovering in front of you is how close or far away it is. You can rein it in a little bit more if you're like, no, you're going to come faster. You still got to become a match for it, baby. Like, you still got to do that. You can't completely bring it into your being until you're a match for it. So the distance has to do with, timing of things. Now, because you're connected to this, you can always tune into that which you're creating, that which you're trying to birth into this reality. This is the coolest part about this. Like, you can tune into this all the time and be like, where am I at with this? And you know what else? You want to be right in front of it. Sometimes in your life, as you're getting distracted, you'll get a little off center. You're still connected to it, but it's not the path of least resistance. It's not that, it's straight line. Quickest way something is a straight line. You might be a little off. You might see that, oh my God, that cord untangled from me. It unconnected. Let me put it back on. This is still what I want. This is still what I want. So you want to continue to check in and be like, where am I at with this? And you're visualizing, and you can tune in to be like, how can I become more of a match for that which I want to create? And your intuition, you will get the answer. You just have to ask, right? Another cool thing about the brain, besides the reticular formation, and remember, we want to use that reticular formation to continue to show us evidence of how you're manifesting that, not how you're not manifesting that, how you are. And if something pops up that brings you off center, like, how did I get off center? Oh, this. And then we do the work to get back to center, right? We also have something called confirmation bias. It's going to reinforce our filter. If you believe that people always leave you, that you're not good enough, then that is what your brain is going to collect evidence for. Confirmation bias and reticular formation love to hang out together. Love to hang out together. But is there another possibility for you? Can you be open to different possibilities? Can you create a confirmation bias that brings you into the Delulu land you need to be to manifest that vision, that dream, that future for you that's going to become reality? Because guess what? The more you convince yourself that this is for you, the faster it comes. And when I can feel it coming into my throat. um, and when it gets closer, it starts to come into your physical body. Because you're actually going to birth it into this reality. So when you stop seeing it in front of you, you're going to start feeling it come into you. This is not scary. This is creation. You've got to unite with your vision, with your dream. And if you have fear around it, we're going to work with that fear. It's important. We need to eliminate our resistance to that which we're trying to create. If you've got the conflict, if you've got resistance, if you've got friction to that thing, that is where you're incongruent. Remember I said we want to be a match. The only way we're going to be a match for that thing that's in front of us is we need to become the vessel for it to birth through us. So we need to get our vessel primed and ready. We need to be in congruency with our thoughts, with our emotions, with our vibration. If you want that, you've got to change this. You got to be a match. So we be a match. And when we know who we need to be as that lovely little ball of orange yumminess that we want to create, as we're becoming a match, we're going to get more and more data and information on who do I need to become. Guess what? That identity that you held on to for forever might need to die to become that person, version. That's a match for that thing that you're creating. And that's going to look different for everybody. Like what it is that you're going to have to give up and come into and how you're going to build your muscles and all that stuff. We want to see this is possible for me. Tune in every morning and get your vision going and say, all right, how close or far away? How can you bring this in? Bring it in with your breath. Meditate on it. You'll get those downloads. What incremental thing do I need to change every single day to become more and more of a match? Ask the divine, how can I become more and more a match to this XYZ than I was yesterday? You're just helping it come into you, grow into you. Some of you, maybe you already can feel it inside of you. And the part that needs to happen is the birthing into reality. And that could be scary. I mean, it's pregnancy, it's birth, it's happening to all of us. So and some of us have Shambhala right in front of us, but we can't see it because our mind says, no, that's not possible for me. Or you're not, like, somebody could wash the dishes and feel like this is the most horrible task of my life. I hate washing dishes. Or you can be like, wow, I receive so many downloads when I'm washing the dishes. The dishes have become my favorite thing to do. Everything that you have to do in your life, start to look at it as if, where's the magic in it? How is this getting me closer to that? Let me tell you, every mundane act is a magical act. You can do your dishes to manifest your boo. You can do your dishes to manifest that 100K. You can do your dishes to manifest that house, to manifest the all these things. You can do the dishes to get what you want. We just have to change our cuckoo. We just got to be a little cuckoo. We just got to, I feel like a part of me is like, Ashley, you are off your rocker. Yes, we are. Because I am the exception and you are the exception. And what do I mean by that? Let me scroll forward in my notes because that doesn't come till later. But we're going to talk about it now. Right, meow. We are the exception. We are rewriting the narrative. Because guess how stories are built? The collective story glorifies struggle, drama, chaos. We're taught that great stories need a conflict to be compelling. And yes, sometimes we do need conflict, like, yeah, working out, like, we're tearing muscles here, like, it hurts. But have you guys ever seen Outlander? Loved Outlander in the beginning. I was like, yeah, this is so a love story. And then I'm like, why the hell Claire and this guy, why can't they be together? Why does something always need to happen to them? Me and my husband started to get so mad because it was like just when they're coming together, ripped apart. Another coming together, ripped apart. It's like, wow, okay. So that has to happen. And if you look at movies and books and all these narratives, there's always something bad that happens. And remember, Gay Hendricks, who wrote that Big Leap and talks about the upper limit, how much joy can you hold? Because as we're being programmed by the media, by movies, by books, by other people, we're being programmed that we have to struggle, that there's a conflict around the corner. There's a storm looming over the horizon. We become hyper vigilant because instead of getting excited about the future, we are terrified of it. What are we creating off of that? We're creating more conflict in the world. We're creating things we have to be hypervigilant about. We're not staying the course, holding the pose. We're staying the course, holding the pose for more storms. Because if we're looking for storms, so we're creating storms. But we can be the exception. We can be the one who creates through joy instead of pain. Do we have to have a struggle bus story? I'm sure we can all resonate with like, yes, life can sometimes be hard. But that doesn't need to be like that makes it hard to get your dreams too. Can things be easy? You got gene key 28? You got gene key 38? If you have a purpose, it might not be that much of a struggle. Struggle is optional. Perseverance, it being hard, it being heavy, yes. It being a struggle? No, optional. Yes, Ashley, you're crazy. Like, if those of you have a really deep belief that anything that's worth it has to be hard, that orange orb, you just casted that like 500 years in the future. It's gonna be so hard. There's gonna be so many mountains. Some of you need that because it's a refiner. Like you go through that struggle and it's like, ooh, diamond. Yes, becoming the diamond. But some of you are freaking over it. You're like over the struggle bus. You're like, oh, what? Like, pff. All right, that narrative, boom. It's your toxic narrative that keeps you safe. I know, your subconscious, your reptilian brain, it wants to be safe. It doesn't want change. It wants the familiar discomfort. But you're not getting that you want over there in the familiar discomfort. No. We have to rewrite the narrative. So when you shift from that drama and you have devotion to that creation, that whole creative process becomes sacred. Yeah, pregnancy isn't all sunshine and rainbows, especially those of you that are mothers that have been pregnant, that have given birth. Like, yeah, you're stretching, you're growing. And depending on what kind of dream you want to bring through this vessel, you may need to stretch and grow a lot because that which you're bringing through is big. And another thing, you don't always have to do it alone. Sometimes those dreams require more than just you. And if you were that hyper-vigilant, hyper-independent boss biatch, then it might be hard to bring in somebody else because you can't trust anyone else. So what needs to happen and work is we need to work on those relationships so that we can begin to trust, so that we can bring in aligned partnerships, and we can start having experiences and evidence that teamwork can be easy. I'm learning more and more every day how easy teamwork is for me. You got to convince yourself and say that I'm learning more and more every day, XYZ, fill in the blank. And if you say that every day, you're going to look for evidence that it's easy. Remember, holding the pose, staying the course, being a match. No more of this looking for evidence that it's hard, looking for evidence how it's off. You're so good at doing that already. Let's not make that the main focus. If it comes in like, oh, something to work on. Okay, still a match. Oh, something to work on. Still a match. Did my little transmutation. This is the sound of fast transmutation. Still a match. You feel that come into your field of like, oh, pulling me away. Back being a match. You're going to hear that in your head over and over again. Oh, that's the sound of coming back into alignment. I'm feeling funny today. Okay. So we are the exception. media, movies, they might show us a different way, but we're going to be the ones that is like, oh, effortlessly and easy. Look at that. Like, remember those like moves where you're doing the dance move where you're casting out and you're like, I'm bringing you to me. I'm bringing you to me. The more joy and fun you have with this process, the easier it's going to be to bring it through. Be a goofball. Laugh. The more serious you are, the more of those juices that are in your sacral, they're going to be gone. Gone. Make love with life. Laugh with life. Dance with life. If I am too much for you, then I invite you to become too mucher with me. Like, you can grow more. You can expand more. And if you want that thing, depending on how bad you want it, you might try out some of my wackadoo stuff. You might. You might. I'm doing pretty good for myself right now. So, okay. Where are we at? I go where my consciousness flows. So be a match. All right, meet the subconscious. We got to cleanse the toxic story. So anything that's not in congruency with that which you're manifesting over there, like we need to make sure that our identity, that our beliefs, that these things are in congruency with that. So we can't create heaven on earth while we're carrying hell in our subconscious. Let that sink in. We can't create heaven on earth while carrying hell in our subconscious. So, what story keeps replaying in your life? Where is the struggle? Where is the pain? Take a moment with your reticular activation. Let's find it. Find the story. I always have to do everything alone. It's never safe to rest. I'm not ready yet. I can't trust others with my dream. I don't know. Insert your story. Your belief. These stories can feel like truth because they've been reinforced by experience. But remember, you've also had experiences come through the lens of that story. They reinforced it because those are the glasses we're wearing, and the only thing we can see in that experience was to reinforce. Yep, see, I told you they were going to do that. I told you. I'm not even disappointed. But you're not surprised either because you didn't see the gift that was hidden in that experience. You just saw what was familiar and the same. I want you to start looking for the surprises, the gifts, the presents that life keeps bringing to you for you to be a match for that orange ball of juiciness that you're trying to come into your life. I want you to name that ball too. Like, what is that thing? Maybe it's like Mr. Wonderful, or maybe it's that success, or I don't even know. Write it in the chat too. Like, what are you manifesting? If you want to keep it a secret, that's okay too. But you can name that ball of energy. Like, listen, Paco. Come on, Paco. Mine is called Paco. I don't know why, but it is. What is yours called? So, what I'm being invited to feel is goofy, is silly, is laughter. Because when I get into that, I get into the flow and I start manifesting really quickly. I start seeing the wonder in everything. Now, my issue is when somebody else comes in, I can get distracted or I let their vibe affects my vibe. I gotta hold the course, stay the pose, regardless of everybody's manifesting different things around you. You would like people around you that are manifesting the same vision. So all of us collectively need to be a match, hold the pose, stay the course. But if they decide, no, now I'll be in my mood. Let them be in their mood. We let them. But we're not letting them come into the co-creation of this. We're staying the course, holding the pose. And if we hold the pose, generally, they might come up. Misery does love company. Watch out and see where you fall into that trap. They're coming in as little saboteurs that heard the call of your subconscious that said, listen, I'm scared. I'm about to do this thing and manifest it. I'm terrified I'm going to screw it up. I want you to come and sabotage me. Hi, I'm here to sabotage. And then it happens and you're like farther away from your goal. You're like, wow, okay, a detour. It's okay. We're like gaining muscle. You're becoming more and more of a match. So we be the match through frequency embodiment. Embodiment. It's always about embodiment. How can we be that? Not just think about that, cuckoo. We have to be the match. So if your desired reality is a frequency, remember we held that ball. You can bring that ball. Okay, what does it feel like? What does that reality feel like? What would your life feel like if you already had that? You're becoming the match for that. What emotions, what habits, what thoughts would you need to have to manifest that Shambhala? Paco Shambhala. My Paco Shambhala. And what would they not entertain? We've got to have some boundaries. We've got to have some standards. So with that, I want you, if you really want that, and if that's a priority, you have to weigh other things against that thing because you have to make choices. Sometimes you can't have both because sometimes they don't go. And maybe this thing doesn't even want that thing. And so it's incongruent. And that's the hard part where we have to let go of something to get that. Because also, if this thing is a person, they got free will. They might not want to manifest that. They might not want to be a match for that. So we want to call in our fractal, our allies, our people that are going to help us with that. We hold the pose, we stay the course. It's kind of like yoga for your nervous system. Just keep repeat, hold the pose, stay the course, hold the pose, stay the course. Be the match. Someone make a, do we have any past cheerleaders here? Like make a little like, rah, rah, be a match, hold the pose, stay the course. We got to make it silly, everybody. Like life is already too serious. So we want to hold alignment even when it shakes. And remember, when you're doing certain poses, like yoga poses, if you're doing it for the first time, odds are it's gonna like the longer you hold it, your body starts to shake, right? Because you're like, whoa, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever like used that muscle before. You're gonna find muscles that you haven't used before, and we're gonna need to get stronger. If you haven't been working out yet, I would highly suggest it. Doing it in the physical also strengthens the energetic. And we have a lot of stuff that gets stored in our body. Our wombs hold a lot of stuff. If you guys are still menstruating, make your menstrual cycle a sacred ritual. So as you're releasing that blood, like imagine the things that you're also letting go of. Wombs also hold emotions. What emotions do we need to complete so we don't repeat? Because when we complete them, we make space for Paco over there. Right? Okay. So we want to complete things. And if you are not menstruating anymore, you're still feminine, or maybe you're not feminine, maybe there's some men here, but like work with the moon. It's cyclical. It'll get you back into that rhythm. And if you're working out, you're also getting rid of some of the fat. That also is going to store some of those emotions. Have you ever gone through something big in your life and like you either put on a bunch of weight or you took off a bunch of weight? Yeah. Protection, or oh my god, that threat's finally gone. It's gone. The weight is gone, the threat is gone. You're going to find that as you're like becoming a match for that reality, right? You might also start losing weight. You have to. When you start letting go of the things, you get lighter too. So the world is going to also test your commitment by showing us the contrast and giving us little moments of like, oh yeah, but wouldn't you like to come over here? It's easier over here. You can get it right now for $2.99. Right now. It'll test our commitment. The question isn't, is it working? It's, can I stay aligned while it calibrates, while I calibrate? It is always working. Let me tell you, it's never not working. It's working. It's just sometimes we abandon the dreams. We like unplug from Paco over there and we're like, nope, not for me anymore. And then we abandon them. We abandon our dreams. I'll put that back on. I do want to, come on, Paco. Keep it on. We're holding the course. We're staying. Holding the pose, staying the course. That's what happens sometimes. We give ourselves these premature, like, releases. abortions. We let it go. Some things aren't in alignment with the new things, so we have to let go of the old dream because it's not in congruency anymore. It's what you wanted when you were your old self, and then you're like, wow, it has evolved. We allow room for evolution, and we know which is the highest and best potential as we're going. Because that Paco could have just been, I thought Paco was XYZ, but really Paco was helping me release this identity. And as soon as that identity released, Paco was here. Done. And I was like, okay, now what? Now we create and we bring that out there again to embody. It's like a whole process of like, all right, release, and now catch, embody. Now here's a new thing we're throwing out there and bringing in, right? And we don't necessarily, anyways, I won't get into that. I don't want to confuse you. So, okay, let me give you a process. I gave you a lot of different things that you can do, and I want you to visualize it. Was this helpful? Did you find this helpful? Is this connecting? Any dots? You understanding? This feels like a cartoon reel. I'm an interesting one. I will tell you that. So we good? You understanding this? I need to get some live. I want to see some live comments because it's not showing me. Hold on. Yes. Oh, great. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with it. Okay. I'm glad you're tracking and following. Okay. Have we talked about the archetypes? Have we talked about human design or gene keys yet? No, we haven't. We haven't yet. We're just talking about the fundamentals and basics of like manifesting and creating. Be a match, hold the pose, stay the course. What else do we have? Like any hero's journey, we have supernatural aid and support in our allies. And we have 64 allies. We have 64 inner archetypes. They want to help us manifest that thing. And we need to tend our garden of creation. So Paco wants to come here, but I need to make space in my life for Paco. Remember, we want to stay adaptable because we're not creating alone. We're co-creating with the universe. So every day the universe is responding to your frequency. It's showing you what's ready to shift, what's ready to heal, what's ready to expand. And we're trying not to control outcomes because sometimes we make things harder for ourselves. Sometimes Paco, like I said, isn't even that thing I'm trying to manifest. Paco is just like, I just wanted to get you to that ego death that you really needed to have, but I pretended that I was this. So like I could be your carrot because you didn't really get to know that that's what we were manifesting first, right? So we work with the energies that come up in the field. We correct what has been spoiled or distorted. That's the gift of the 18th archetype. We already walked through that transit. We draw from our deep well of wisdom and resourcefulness. Oh, what was that? That was the 48. We tune into our intuition. 57 in transit now. We've been doing that this whole time, tuning into our intuition and our inner senses. You guys are so good at it already. We tune into the 57 to sense what's alive, what's ripening, what's ready to bloom in the future that we're creating. Let me tell you the amazing gift of the 57. She's going to tune in, not to like this is the future that's happening. We're not saying future telling, like fortune telling, future telling. We're saying in this moment right now, what future am I aligned to? She's reading the field for what you are creating now. Is that in alignment with what you're wanting to create, or is it a little bit off? You've got to have a lot of mindfulness and awareness of your inner and outer situation so that you can course correct and adjust. In the beginning of today, I found myself so distracted. I'm like, wow, I just started my bleed. I felt really distracted. It was like squirrel, 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 squirrel. It's like, wow, is this my sacral? Yes, it is. This is totally how I gather those little pieces. It's like, ooh, that thing and that thing and that thing, and put it in the pot, and this is what we're creating today. That's kind of how I work. But I needed to rein it in. I needed to stay focused. I put on some fennel and some wild orange. Fennel helps you focus. If you have squirrel energy, get some fennel essential oil. That'll help you focus. I'll give you some essential oils that you can use for this orange door too. I'll do it later. But back on focus, tuning into what we're creating. Creation is a garden, and you can't just plant seeds and walk away. You have to tend it. You have to notice what's growing beautifully, what's growing wild, what's taking over the garden, right? Paco over there needs me to also tune in to be like, what's happening over there? Did anything develop more from this vision? Because, right, as we're tuning into our Shambhala, to my Paco, more and more and more, I'm like, great, I know your name is Paco, but that is all I know. What are we creating? Is there more to this? And we're expanding and we're expanding. So you'll get more data too. But when you realize what your Shambhala is, you're going to be like, okay, what kind of environment do I need to cultivate inside? What beliefs do I need to have? Because if you leave parts of your life unchecked, so we can't just develop business only. Maybe we're not emotionally maturing. Maybe we're not spiritually maturing. Maybe we're not mentally maturing. We need all of the areas of our life developed because all of it needs to expand to be able to hold and have capacity for that which you're manifesting. So you got to tune in and check into these different parts of you. Right? If you leave your mind unchecked, it goes crazy. It's like zucchini. Have you ever had a garden with zucchini in it? Those grow so fast, and then they take over the whole garden. If you have an unchecked thought form or belief, heaven forbid, I'm not worthy, it's like an invasive species. It just takes over. And then you're like, oh, why can't I get that? Well, I mean, we're not working on the worthiness work. Like, yeah, you want to call it in, but like, do you deep down believe you deserve it? Even though Joe over there is really suffering. He doesn't get it, and I get it. Doesn't mean he doesn't deserve it. Just means you're putting in a lot of work. Joe doesn't go to the gym. Joe's sitting there wallowing in victimization while you are doing the work. If he went to the gym to work out, he would be stronger and he could hold that capacity and he could manifest that. But he's stuck. And that's okay. That's Joe's journey. So we don't want to leave parts of our lives unchecked. They're like weeds. They're gonna take over. And they're gonna choke the very thing that you're trying to nurture. So you gotta ask yourself, what am I intentionally growing right now? Right? Paco. It's like a baby room, like a nursery. If you want to look at it like that instead of a garden, it's like a nursery. How are you preparing that room? You can create an altar in your home for manifesting that. I'm getting it ready. I'm creating space in my home for you. You can create a physical garden. You can grow a plant and tend the plant. When you can this is the best way that I've ever manifested things. As soon as I say, I want this to happen, I go out into the physical and I buy or I create something that represents that thing. So when I wanted to travel, before we got our nomad thing, I bought a suitcase. We had just finished some stuff in Florida, and before we left, my suitcase broke, and I was like, oh, I need a new suitcase. This shall be my travel suitcase. Like literally, like we're gonna travel the world in it. And I'm making little steps to get closer and closer to that. I'm expanding my horizons. We just finished our nomad journey, but I'm not done there. I want to travel the world. I took a step to get a passport. Little steps. Ashley is so used to being in her little tiny home that she's like, how can we expand? Right? Little steps, little steps. So you can get a pot and you can grow an aloe. Aloe are super easy to grow. Like you don't even need to water it that much. It's going to grow. And it's great for protection. So if you want to protect your dream, aloe. You choose a harder one, let me tell you, it's going to be harder for you. Choose a pot, choose a plant, make it pretty, make it align with whatever you're manifesting, and know, like, I gotta tend this, just like I have to tend relationships, just like I need to tend babies, just like I need to feed myself. You gotta do the same thing. And it's a visual representation of your Shambhala, right? So, what am I intentionally growing right now? What am I unconsciously allowing to overrun my garden? Don't focus on this too much. Remember, we don't want that to be our whole thing of like, oh, let's get rid of all the weeds and stuff. And then we don't tend to our garden and it dies because we're battling the weeds. Great, you're done with the weeds, but now you have a barren garden. Balance, balance. So this is the moment that you decide what you stand for, what you truly want to create. So what are you preserving? Taking with you as your personal Shambhala, your heaven on earth, and what are you ready to leave behind? It's weeding. That's the 32. That's the transit we're going into. It's perfect for this. So that's tomorrow. As we move into the guardian archetype, what are you creating? And what is it going to bring more of into your life? It's going to bring more love. The guardian's preserving love, right? So we need to eradicate any of those hostilities, any of that hate, any of that self-loathing, any of that, like, what things are getting in the way? We want to preserve something. And there's lessons that you've learned in the past that you want to bring with you as you're creating into the future. We don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. We've got to decide, what have I learned that I want to carry with me? Like, it's all for the glory of love. It's for love, whatever it is that you're preserving. You have an ideal, you have a thing that you're trying to manifest. Like, you have learned something over the course of your life. All of those experiences you've had have gotten you to here, where you're deciding, now I'm making this happen, I'm creating this world. So there's some things from your lineage, from your past, and your learnings, right? They're sacred, they carry wisdom and strength. But some things, pattern, fears, old stories, they're not in coherence with what you're trying to step into, so they don't fit anymore, so they can't come with you. So you've got to know what to let go of and what to bring with you. And as we're tuning into and stepping over this threshold into the guardian archetype, that's what we're learning about. What to let go of and what to keep with us. We don't want that which we're trying to manifest to fail to thrive. Sometimes babies in the womb, they fail to thrive. They can't grow in that environment. The same thing happens with your dreams, with your visions, with your goals, with things that you're manifesting. We want to be a match. We need our vessel to be a match. And some things don't fit. They're toxic for that. So we need to release it. So we need to pull out the roots of corruption, the beliefs that no longer serve. We need to do this inner gardening, so that we can become clearer. We can become a pure match for that which we're really calling in. So this is your reminder to tend your inner garden, to be a match, to hold the pose, to stay the course, to let creation unfold through you, one breath, one choice, one seed at a time. So we're tuning in to see what's in alignment with what I'm creating and what's not. And we're just, it's easy. Some things we're not going to want to let go of. We're like, no, 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 why can't you come with me? And we got to release them with love. And we got to tend to the grief of letting go of that thing. There will be grief. There will be emotions. We're feeling beings. Don't bypass your emotions. You got to feel them to heal them. So these archetypes can be your supernatural aid and support, right? Bringing this all home, because we're not doing this alone. We've got the archetypes, and you're in this group, so you're interested in astrology, gene keys, human design. These archetypes are showing up as energies, synchronicities, insights, people in our lives that mirror these qualities back to us. Right now, we're in Libra season. These allies were the 18, the 48, the 57, the 32, the 50. I'm forgetting one. The 46. Synchronicities. Can't forget that. We're on this path now because of the synchronicities that the 46 brought. Each one of them is a facet of divine intelligence, and they're guiding us home as we return to Eden. It's the code of consciousness. These 64 are like, I know the way. We're coming back to oneness. And little by little by little, we're getting closer and closer and closer to Eden. So these are our companions on the journey. Exactly where I am right now. This is perfect. So we look at the perceiver, because she, in the past, she helped us see clearly what was out of alignment as loving correction. She's amazing. She can come in and be like, oh, we're off a little bit. How do we get back on track? Oh, you're singing in a D. You need to be in a C. Right? We don't turn away from what feels uncomfortable. The perceiver, the 18, showing you where light wants to enter, where lightness wants to come, where we can be a match for that which we're creating. She's the one who helps you refine your creation, to polish the mirror. If you already have this archetype, you can call forth on her. It's already part of you, right? We were just in the transit of the librarian. She carries the ancient well of wisdom. She's saying, you already have the resources within you. They're inside you. So when you feel empty or uncertain, she says, oh, just go a little deeper. Go a little deeper. It's there. So she helps you attune to that inner knowing, to the waters beneath your mind. Her medicine is resourcefulness through trust. We walked with her. If you have her, you can call her forward. If she's already part of who you are, so bring her up. Then the intuitive, that whisper of intuition, that whisper in the wind, she's going to tune you into that future that you're creating and be like, all right, how do we become a match? Because in this moment, I'm not manifesting that. I'm manifesting that. So let me get back over here. She's going to give you clarity on what you're creating too. She's going to help you adjust as well. Then we're moving into the guardian, the 32. Remember we said the weeding? And what's after that? The maestro. He's the conductor of divine order. He's the one who restores harmony to the whole. So he holds the laws of balance and justice and right relationship. Through him, we're going to remember that there's a higher order. There's a higher good. He teaches integrity. He's not here about restriction. He is here to teach you about resonance. And some things aren't in resonance. So we need to get back into harmony. There's corruption in our DNA, in our coding, in our beliefs. They need to be refined. They need to be changed, right? So this is our sacred circle of support, our archetypes, our transits that we're walking. So as you move through these coming days, I invite you and your reticular formation to consciously train your awareness to look for these archetypes, these signatures, to look for the path, the gift, perceiving instead of reacting, looking for that well of wisdom, seeing what needs to be weeded, all the things. As you get to know these archetypes, you get to know what the cosmic curriculum is, and you can use that cosmic curriculum to support you to manifest what you're trying to create. So Paco gets closer. Let's go, let's go. Okay. So, plugging back into that womb of creation, to that orange door, to your womb, to your creative center, asking yourself, like, is this what I want? What is it that I'm creating? What is my heaven? And getting really clear on that. So that's kind of your homework for this week, is getting really clear on that Shambhala. You may have brought through some of it. Hold on. You might have brought through some of the vision, but I want you to keep tuning in and getting a clearer and clearer and clearer vision of what Shambhala, what heaven on earth looks like for you. You want to ask yourself, like, what am I plugged into? Because that's what we're wanting to be a match for, to hold the pose, to stay the course, to bring it in, to bring it into our physical vessel, to birth it. Once you get that orange ball into your physical vessel, because right now, remember, that distance is showing you how far off you are from being a match for it. You're bringing it closer and closer to the present, to the now moment. And then you'll be able to sense, like, oh, I feel it. I feel it descending through my chakras. Maybe it was just an idea, or maybe it came in through the earth, right? It could have been through the earth, through the, doesn't matter. Like, you can feel where it needs to sit and land, right? Feeling in my heart. Tune into your body, to these sensations. Like, where are you feeling? What's speaking in your body? Because that's data. We need to tune into the data. So that was the teaching for today. Hopefully those visuals helped you kind of tune into your Shambhala, that which you're creating, Paco. Learning how to transmute. Be a match. Hold the pose. Stay the course. Right? And I have a gift. I have a gift for you. I have a gift. I have an offering for you. Right? So inside of the chat, there is a link to 3 things. So the first thing is the 64 archetype subscription. This is brand new. This is not the free thing. This is these are the archetype courses. So they're going to give you access for $19.99. Usually these courses are $55, but you're going to get 6 courses for $19.99. And every zodiac season, you're going to get the archetypes that are associated with it because I want you to walk the wheel. I want you to tune into these archetypes and be like, okay, this is my supernatural aid and support. This is the cosmic curriculum. I'm trying to become a conscious creator. I'm manifesting Shambhala on earth. Help me, universe. Help me, supernatural aid and support. Help me get into alignment in congruency with it. So you can get to know these archetypes through these courses so that you can become a match for your Shambhala. Right? These courses have teachings. They have meditations in them. They have workbooks in them. They have all sorts of things. Like you're going to get all the perspectives. You're going to get gene keys, human design, astrology, I Ching, all of the archetypal allies, the connections. Like it goes deep into it. I'm doing a phenomenal job at updating and upgrading all of these courses. So you have all the Libra archetypes right now if you sign up for that. This is different than the inner circle. This is just the data. This is just the courses. It's something you guys have been asking for a while. $19.99. Like this is your gym membership. This is how we working out together. It's your gym membership. Okay? And we get to know these inner archetypes. It's amazing. Like you're like manifest your Paco. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit more about that this week. If you want to jump into it and dig into the courses, they're already available for you. As soon as you sign up, you get your access already, like all 6 of them. And you also get the Libra setup course. And that's going to help you understand what is this season about. And then soon you're going to get Scorpio and all the Scorpio archetypes. And it's going to be amazing. And we'll talk about that later. The gift. That's the third thing because there's a pinned comment, and the third thing is the gift, and it's the Spark of Creativity meditation series. So this is here to help you remember the divine creator within you. It's 7 meditations, and they go through each of the chakras. And phenomenal. I'm so happy that I created this. It's going to be amazing for exactly what we're doing here. So I'm very, very proud and pleased to be able to give this to you for free. And it's definitely going to get you into alignment with that spark of creativity of that divine creator inside of you. This is going to help you manifest. It's 7 meditations. I suggest do 1 a day. Do 1 a day, and you'll be ready when we open the yellow door. Because you can start today. Do the red, the first meditation, which gets you into the root chakra, sacral. It goes in order. So sign up for that. That's the free thing. Chef's kiss. Amazing. And then obviously the Walking the Wheel ebook, that's going to give you the overview of the archetypes. That one's only $4.99 still. And I have created a table of contents that's going to help you find locations. Thank you, Carrie. Carrie Fox. She's the one's like, Ashley, we need table of contents. Yes, we do. How are you going to find stuff? Table of contents, and at the back of the book is an index. So it goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numerical order. So you can find, like if you know, oh, I'm looking in my chart and I can see I have the 27, and then you go and find it on the list and find the page that it's on, and then boom, you're there. So those are the 3 things we have. The archetype subscription is like your gym membership. What's the cosmic curriculum? How to get alignment? How to get the gift? What am I here to focus on? Right? If you don't follow the transits, then how are you supposed to know what you're here to focus on? You use the cosmic curriculum to help you manifest Shambhala Paco over there. What are you guys naming your Shambhala? Did you name your ball of energy? Like, what'd you name it? Let's see. Okay. So we've got that subscription, the book, which thank you so much. So many of you bought it. Like hundreds of people bought it. I am so humbled and grateful that you guys did that. And we're walking the wheel together, y'all. Here we go. And then the Spark of Creativity gift. Like, I'm very proud of that. And you guys are going to have an amazing time getting into that. So, and also meditation is a really amazing support for you to tune into yourself to help you tap into that which you're creating. You want to create heaven on earth? Then we've got to continually, consciously tune in to that. Okay? And meditation helps us quiet the mind and tune into what's under all of that. Okay? Did you have a good time opening the orange door? Because I know I did. Very light, very fun for me. This could be really heavy because we're talking about creation and manifestation. But remember, what you focus on expands. So look for how today is the best day of your life. That's your homework, like simple homework. Find evidence for how today is the best day of your life. If you find yourself looking for how it's not, no. Course correct. How is it the best day of your life? You will orient with synchronicities and amazing things to help you remind yourself that, wow, that rainbow is for me. Best day ever. Best day ever. And I'd love you guys. Hashtag best day ever. Like, I want to see your evidence. Can you post it in the group? I want, like, that's your homework. Find evidence that this is your best day ever and hashtag best day ever. Please, 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 please. If you want to create heaven on earth, we need to start looking for evidence that it's already here. So hashtag best day ever. Hashtag best day ever. Okay. Be a match. Hold the pose. Stay the course. You got this. You got this. Thanks for joining today. Love you all. Get it. Get it. Heaven's coming for you right now. All right. Bye, everyone.